how we're going to match up for our last Miramar match of the day.
I could just stare at J-Sync all day, sorry.
When you were a player and you had to do all these esport poses for the promotional images like this, was what was your
They
go-to? Were you arms crossed
No, I
kind of a
did
player?
goofy ones and they never let me use them. I actually made it a point that I wanted to kind of be, I just wanted to be a little like fun or something, and some of those they didn't use, and it makes me sad. They took the photos though. They made me feel like I had a choice, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they locked me in there. It was mostly Prim actually. Prim didn't let me have any fun.
I used to be
Calling you
a
out, Prim.
TO, and I used to take the photos for some of these events, and that was the thing I would
Okay.
try to do. I would try to get people to do stupid, dumb poses, and I would purposely pick the stupid ones. But, you know,
I'm also good at. Okay, J-Sync. Okay,
oh,
okay, he's gonna be fine. Yeah, Battingles actually just be like, nah, he saw the other vehicle coming. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of a blob when I used to compete, so it didn't really matter what angle I took. I just looked like a big mass. So wasn't the greatest pictures, anyways. Meanwhile, the circle has posted, and again, it's gonna be another Northwest one.
yeah. I mean, we know our very first match today was El Pozo centric. It ended just south of the city. And already we're starting to see a little bit of a similar path. Now, the question, of course, is going to be how is this going to help and or maybe even hurt Dodge, who could be in a position to suffer a bit of a compound curse if they don't have to take really any movement or transitions away from this position, and if no teams really come out into their area. Dodge has been a team that we've said we've seen a lot of growth and we're really liking where they're at right now, but if the circle doesn't really put them in a position to perform, that could also hurt them just a little bit.
It could. We'll see what they do with the position that they've been given. Obviously, it's a very strong one, but overall, I really do like what Dodge has been doing. This is a team that has definitely kind of struggled in the past. They've had some early signs of hope, as we saw in PCS one, and even some of the charity event. But last PCS was very rough for Dodge, and so to see them kind of moving forward and get the points that they need and find some consistency, it's good. I'm glad for them. And Gas Cans is another team that, again, this is a new team, but they've really impressed me so far.
Yeah, and this has really been an exciting thing for us as well. Like you said, we've watched them play through a lot of different events this year. We had everything kind of at the beginning before COVID, the before COVID times, as we kind of like to reflect back on. And then when we started the PCS series and the North American Charity Showdown, we've had quite a couple events to watch a lot of these guys come up through, grow, evolve as players and as teams. And so as now we're into the PCS3, which for me kind of feels like we're at that maturing stage, the fine wine
Yeah,
for a
that's
lot of
actually a
these
really good
teams. It's been
analogy.
nice.
Yeah, it's a really good analogy, and I think as PUBG has thrown on more of these and supported the scene, we have seen players grow and teams grow and new faces as well, and so it's been great to see. I agree with you 100%.
And now, as well as we're kind of coming to the end of phase one, Blue is just getting ready to move. So are all of our teams who are setting themselves up here in the zone. And the thing, too, Dustin, whenever we have a repeat circle, I guess we'll say, when it looks very similar to a game that we've already played, what is going through your mind as a team? Do you try to replicate the things that did or didn't work for that previous match, or are you looking to play things out a little bit differently?
I mean, every team will have set rotations. Or for the most part, most teams have set rotations and scouting points where they go where they're comfortable to move from. We see that a lot in a lot of the top teams that have established where they like to go. And so, like with a circle like this, if it's one that you already have a set plan for, you're generally gonna tend to see them do the same thing. Yeah. As far as like hoping it's gonna land in the same place, obviously the circles are a little bit different each time. They're not exactly the same, but you generally will follow the same guidelines, especially if you were successful.
Hmm. Now, once again, though, Shoot to Kill, Oath, and Zenith are not really posted up in this zone just yet, still on the edge line. It looks like Shoot to Kill, though, might be just starting to get into their vehicles to work on their rotation into the zone, transitioning to that next location. Additionally, through that as well, we've still got a couple other teams outside of the zone. Gravity, One Eye Open, and Virtue out closer towards the south, which puts them a potential to take a wrap either maybe up through Picado in the direction of Oath, or back down to the south for Houston Hardships. And so this is where we're going to kind of start to look for in that early game. That was something that I think we actually kind of saw a lot of teams fall early on the first match today because of how many teams had posted up to the east during that kind of that first circle shift. This time we're seeing people
Looking
put a
at
little bit more center.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at SDK, it looks like they're potentially setting up for the same trap they had last time, and this time Zenith is the one that's gonna drive by, not Gravity. And as you see, Punaj is trying to basically beat, he's trying to beat Purdy so that he doesn't actually get zoned out. But this is actually incredible, kind of, I guess you call it footsies, where they're just trying to distance each other out and space them out so that Purdy can really just trap them where he wants. And this is exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's literally heading them, but he's hurting Punich, which is ridiculous. But that's what he's doing. He's staying in front of them.
I love this. So you said Purdy and Punaj have kind of been watching each other here, and Purdy's going to go ahead and leave the vehicle and try to get a vantage point here onto Zenith, though the vehicle sounds have stopped, and I think Shoot to Kill is anticipating that he is also on the hill as Kurt looking for an angle not only into Watertown, but on the backside of this as he can spot out the rest of Zenith, though. Punaj back in his car to continue on, and Kurt could be in a very big place to play from this.
Oh, and Kick getting behind is
kind of coming
a
in to
big
help.
problem. Yeah, that's a big problem though with that member of Kick getting behind.
Oh no!
Oh, rough. Oh no!
Oh, this is the worst thing that could have happened to
That
Zenith here. He had a little bit of a
sucks.
vehicle mishap, a run over, and then Roth was picked off from the side.
Yeah.
So there's two Shoot to Kill members, Kurt and Civ, are going to go ahead and send it, make sure they clear out and get a little bit of loot from this. But now Shinboy and Kickstart are going to get into the zone safely, but it came at the cost of 2.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, it wasn't. They didn't even. I don't know. That's rough because I was really looking forward to seeing how that fight went. I really like the reposition from Kickstart. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say. That's rough.
Yeah, and unfortunately, vehicle team kills happen just a little bit. I mean, we've all been there. We've all played a match where we've gotten a little bit too excited, either run in front of a vehicle or
Never
a
hit
teammate
a
has run
teammate
over
with
of
a
us.
vehicle,
It's just the worst time that I think it could have happened to Zenith.
Not a single time in my PUBG career have I ever hit a teammate with a vehicle. You can fact check that. Check
Never?
my replays.
Yeah.
No, I've probably actually hit more teammates front over quite a few teammates in my day. It's such an awful feeling. It's really sucks, especially in comp. I have done it on accident. I think I did it once to Micro or Los. I don't remember. It was it felt really bad though. It came in a little too hot.
I think it's part of the caster curse from our point of view. It's always happens when we seem to be watching.
True, but luckily it didn't end up causing a death. But I've definitely, you know what I mean? It sucks when that happens because not only do you feel bad for hitting your teammate, but then they both died because of it. So it is what it is. I mean, it's a simple mistake. I'm sure it won't happen again. Moving on.
All right. And speaking of moving on, just about everybody is inside the zone right now as we watch Liberate post up. We can take a quick overhead view of the map and see. Actually, it looks like Hardships and Ascendants are kind of ascending on top of each other here as Magi getting a little bit too close to Lobes, Chuba, J-Sync, and Maluk are crashing out his compound, though Beck and Ripper trying to get a viewpoint onto this fight. As the circle closes in, though, they don't have to move just yet, so they're going to have a bit of time to fight this out, and the throwables already out here on Demaji as they're going to get him down to half. Lobes getting him down with the Mini 14, so I think it might have as well just spotted out Ripper.
Again, I just have to speak on how tight Hardships has been playing so far in this group stage in PCS3. I mean, it's crazy how much I feel like this team has really grown and gotten used to each other. I mean, you see Lobes always in the front, kind of being the entry fragger, so to speak. And then you even have Maluk doing that now as well. I mean, all these guys are just putting in the work and filling different roles for each other. And it's a treat to watch, man. Hardships are starting to play that level.
Oh, Elusive was just crashing the Guadalajara gas cans compound. They're going to lose Fizzle out of this. Detonator trying to pull back ahead from safety as the rest of Elusive instead opting to push into El Pozo. But Ascendants, who pulled away from that Hardships fight, just left and had the exact same ideas. They're going to crash the exact same compound here. A trade of Noxon. Ooh, running over. Zraven's going to get out sneak attack here. Jay all day picking up another one, but unfortunately Elusive is going to be eliminated here. Zraven now has to work for these reses. 'Cause I think they might be able to get them as zero. I say that, look at this, Zenith is starting to collapse onto this.
Yeah. And it's just remember, it's just two members of Zenith, but they're going to try to get some points if they can, but not if Illusion has anything to say about it.
You know, Illusion and Zenith were two teams that played El Pozo on the first match today when we had a very similar circle, and they're in very similar positions. We saw that game as well as Illusion. Though it's continuing to use their anchor points. They're really nice position inside town. We can see Icy Flex has a good vantage point here for Kickstart, but shots inside the smoke aren't, unfortunately, not going to land any damage here. So the last two players of Zenith Esports trying to fight out Ascendance for this compound.
This is obviously a really strong compound to play for him. It's just which team is going to end up being on top. I mean, Zenith is a two-man, and Ascendance is also a two-man. It's just really if Illusion is going to come and ruin this fight, and that's going to be a knock on a Beck.
Illusion is actually third-partying this, and that's going to make it easier for Kickstart here, as he's going to get a knock onto this as well. And one last player still up top for the high ground, Zraven. A little bit harder to spot. There's no damage throwables here, but Kickstart 1 HP is going to do it.
He did knock Shin. I thought he walked
a little
into
bit.
him. That was dangerous, but look at Kickstart health too. That actually could have been a Zenith wipe, but here comes Illusion.
Illusion read the kill feed, saw what happened, and knows that now is the time to push. They are 4-man up, and they've got plenty of utility in the bag, as we can see right now. Top Dog trying to push in, but Freebie Please is knocked in flush, taken out here. Light Show GG, though. And Icy Flex are going to deny that as they clear out Zenith. So Illusion sitting kings right now in El Pozo. They did lose one player out of this. Additionally, as they've pushed in down south, Kurt has moved in from shoot to kill.
Yep. Kurt and the rest of STK have pretty much come in. It is wild how free the North is right now. I mean, there's part of that, I think, at least in the east side, is because STK was kind of controlling that area. But man, it's crazy to see so many teams condensed down in the south and the southeast. I mean, there's nobody up north.
Oh, and this time this circle is going to take a much further eastern shift away from El Pozo. The field's still prominently into play, but it's that high ground that Oath and Shoot to Kill hold right now. Luke 12. That is going to be a place that I think a lot of teams are going to fight for. We still have a couple out to the south that need to get themselves in the zone. Additionally, as well, Virtue trying to wrap in from the west, but it's taking them right in the midst of the Houston Hardships.
Yeah, and Hardships now are poised to pretty much get some more points here if they can just clean this up, but Virtue is not going to let that happen so easily. The Super gets thrown off his bike.
It's a bit of a trade here to see Tanaka. And very low is going to get one down. From a distance, though, Kurt taking out Super, so starting to steal some of these knocks away from Virtue and Houston Hardships. Throwables are coming back out. Virtue trying to give a little bit of cover with the smokes.
Yeah, this should not be a 3-on-3.
Oh, is this nade good? It just bounces one more time. Prime just a little too early. Maluk's not going to take any damage from that, but we can see now Hardships trying to close in and put more pressure on Virtue to push them back out of the zone and from this position to try to hold the bowl that was so prominently played here on the first match of Virtue. Will make it to their vehicles, trying to sit in it safely. Uh-oh. That was close.
Well, flip side 180 there. That was... It's an interesting little trick. He hit the rock, but he did get out of there, and so that was actually a nice disengage. The problem is where they're going. Where are they going?
I'm not entirely sure. Shoot to Kill actually did come down from the high ground and send it into El Pozo as Oath took back, and we can see the shots actually coming back from out onto Virtue, and that's put them in a little bit of a pickle. There's not really a lot of places that they can go to safely. They're going to choose this dip.
A risky spot.
Oh.
It's good now, but the issue is Oath right there. That is the big issue. They're literally in, yeah, and Oath knows. This is going to be very rough. Oath, I'm sure they're going to take out those bike tires, which is going to leave them stranded, and then that's going to be the end of Virtue. Unless Virtue hits some absolutely disgusting shots, which there's one.
Ooh.
That was actually from Luke, so it doesn't count.
You know, I think the pressure that Shoot to Kill can offer here onto Oath might be the thing that can keep Virtue alive a little bit longer. As you said, Oath is locked
saving
into
them
this.
right now. SDK is absolutely saving Oath right now. Or excuse me, SDK is absolutely saving Virtue right now by shooting at Oath.
As this is going on, really everybody is inside the zone except for 2 players of the Comets who have not worked their way in just yet, stuck on foot, and One Eye Open. One Eye Open taking a similar rotation we just watched Virtue take alongside Houston Hardships, and they are going to take out J-Sank through this, but Winlow getting a little bit low on health as we see Hardy, Patron, and Delta full sending it into the fight as they try to keep the pressure here onto Maluk, pushing him back. Delta is actually going to get very close to him here with the buggy.
I'm not sure if they know where Maluk is. They might. They obviously know where the other member of Hardships is, but no, Luke is just. Yeah, it looks like he's just backing off as well, or at least trying to.
Ooh, look at this circle shift. This is
There
not
is
a
a
good
lot
circle.
of people not in the circle still. That's a
I
good
mean,
amount.
look at Gravity Liberate. I mean, there's not really a lot of places that they can go unless they take an absolutely insane wide wrap around towards the north to come into the top of El Pozo. That might be the safest bet, but it's not going to be where they take. See San Diego Rarity drive right into Guadalajara gas cans.
Yeah, this
they are going to clear this out.
Yeah, this is an incredibly rough turn of events here for Rarity. I mean, they're. Oh my goodness. Are they still
That vehicle's
alive?
going to explode
How are they
soon.
still
Oh!
alive? No. Nice try. Nice try, guys. That was rough. It was super rough.
Oh, well, it's going to be rough again because now Gravity is going to do exactly the same. And in fact, right as Gravity is starting to make this play, Comets are driving right in the thick of this. Vegas coming in a little bit late to try and get themselves in safely. Vegas actually, most of that damage came in from the blue as well, but shots out, as we can see from Liberate and Gravity, not helping at all. And Leda for Comets is also still inside the zone, taking quite a bit of damage as he's on foot. So this is going to be a rough transition for all these teams that still need to get in the zone. Liberate is actually waiting until the very last moment. So another team that also needs to work their way in.
And this is kind of the issue that you run into when you wait so long. I mean, obviously they may have not had the best play to move forward before, but I mean, waiting when circles on your back just makes that anxiety and those quick decisions you have to make even harder because, I mean, you really don't give yourself any time to think. And that's pretty much what has happened here to Gravity. Obviously, I don't know if they had dealt with a team before, we didn't get to see that, but they were in that position for quite a long time. And now it looks like they're just going to scrap with both ATC and gas cans.
And, you know, as everybody continues to play the edge, it looks like Lipson will be able to make it at least right onto the edge here. But the question now comes for Gravity is, do they try to engage gas cans or do they try to engage ATC? All three of these teams can't really exist along the edge in such close quarters. So we're seeing right now D-Rich start to extend just a little bit towards that ATC, try to get out some of that information. As Zovran spotting out Vegas, the last player still up for Comets. The damage here is returned, but unfortunately the zone is actually going to do quite a bit in here. So guys, excuse me, we do still have two other players for the Comets. They are inside El Pozo. They'd sent it a little bit earlier, and we'll keep that dream alive. But now as Gravity has chosen the ATC fight at hand, on the backside of this Liberate and Dodge. So it's a little bit of a pinch here for ATC if they can't deal with Gravity.
Oh, Spray gets a little bit away from the Rich, but they have more opportunities now as this fight's going to break off, and that's a good knock. It's a good start for Gravity, but Lipson's also been knocked by a grenade actually just now.
That underhand Molotov was very good here. Aguila's going to bleed out. The second one landing right on top of Marcelic was to see him try to run back to safety, try to out-heal that fire and stay alive. Sharp shot as well. You know, Liberate chose to engage ATC, and so this comes the pressure, the pinch, but at the same time, Guadalajara gas cans have started to push onto Gravity. We can see even Hardships have side on this, so they're going to get Pan Kill down to 5 HP. It is very crowded right here along the edge, Dustin.
Very crowded, to say the least. The issue is getting out. It looks like that's what ATC is very quickly recognized, that they are pinched, and the position they're leaving is still not that bad, but it's just not good for them to be in between so many teams. So they're just going to take this out. Sure, there may be the folks of SDK and a few others on the hill, like When I Opened, but overall they got out of a very toxic situation. As that edge is still very much busy.
Ooh, speaking out of getting out of toxic situations, Oath is going to try to just full send it right into Shoot to Kill here for El Pozo. They've been fighting a bit at range, and Shoot to Kill's been getting damage not only into Oath, but also in Virtue, as the last two players of Virtue are going to send it to that same shack that we saw San Diego Rarity play out of on that first match. This is almost an identical circle to that first game. At this time now, we're seeing more teams try to play out of the low ground, but ATC, who had already placed down here, is going to put a little bit of damage in Oath, and Oath actually is able to get into that bowl that we saw them play out of the first game.
Cheeky little seat swap challenge, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, this is exactly where Oath I think it's exactly, yeah, this is exactly where Oath was in the first game, actually. Right. And it's really not a bad position to hold. And again, I feel like they really did their best with 3 people to hold it last time. It's just that's kind of the one downside is you're in a bowl. And so if you do get surrounded, which may happen again, it's rough to fight out. But this time they do have all 4 members here, so let's see if anything changes for them.
That's true, as you said. I mean, last game they lost Snakers a little bit early, and so they were trying to hold this as a 3-man, and too many teams pushed at the same time, which was a bit of their downfall for this. But now, as that said, we've got 4 teams out to the south that are continuing to fight out for this position. They've just about made it into the zone safely. It looks like Guadalajara Gas Cans keeping just a little bit of pressure onto Gravity here as they're trying to get some extra information. Honey Badger just kind of trying to get a little bit close. Might have just been spotted out here by Sovereign, who's going to get him down very low, but didn't quite find the knock. Honey Badger returning to fire, but Sovereign will get it here. And as the blue closes in, Sovereign might have the opportunity to get the flush as Gas Cans just can't get there in the time. The blue could potentially do the rest.
I think they might get that knock flush, and they're pushing. I love this.
Ooh, and Dodge as well starting to engage here onto this fight as they're taking shots as well into ATC through this. So the fight now at hand from Gravity. They're using that knock and flush with Honey Badger as the opener, and we could see utility being exchanged back and forth, both smokes and Molotovs out. But just look at how little sliver of a ridgeline they have to not be spotted out by the rest of the teams that are out further to the north. D-Rich rotating, try to get another angle on this.
This has just been an absolute bloodbath now. And this is kind of what we thought with all the teams clumped up on the south. But Chubba and Maluk are still standing strong. And look at the way they've even split this. A little bit of confidence there in that split is just 2 members left. But at the same time, they kind of have to play like that. Shots coming in behind. It's going to hit Voxic, and he's going to back up.
I mean, it's a really great angle for the Houston Hardships to hold on to this, but Guadalajara Gas Can still with 3 up, trying to take shots in the smoke. It's going to be traded, though. Sovereign goes down, and so does Oldless. As both Gravity and Guadalajara Gas Cans are in a bit of a struggle. Hardships have rotated to find a good angle on this, as well as ATC and Dodge. And there you have it. Gravity is eliminated, and so are the Gas Cans. As we're down to now just 8 teams, 25 left alive. But as this was going on, One Eye Open got a little bit close to Oath. And I did lose a player under this. Additionally, from that, Illusion starting to push up from El Pozo. Oh, and a good trade here. No, Patron going down here for Light Show GG. And he spotted the pro, and he does. Winlow gets taken out. As this was going on, Delta and Manhardy were working on a res. So there are still 2 members up from One Eye Open, but that's going to at least allow Illusion the ability to get into position. Now shoot to kill. Last team still in the city need to work their way in, but Virtue's got sight on them.
I think everyone has sight on them. I mean, look how many people are potentially looking that direction. This is going to be the hard part, though, as well for Oath. I'm sure they want to stop SDK from moving in. The problem is that they are getting pressured themselves. And so here comes the bike ride in. Alo is going to try to get him in. If he can just get them under the hill. Shots from Civ. Nice.
Ooh.
And he's going to get him there.
You know, Civ was really trying to offer some cover fire there to help his teammates get in, but unfortunately, Kurt was taken off the bike, and it's going to get flushed out as Alo is spotted as well. Tanaka pushing out from the shack is going to do quite a bit there to get shoot to kill down to just 1 player. As you see Civ now working his way into the zone, but like,
no,
you
it's
know,
not gonna
like
happen.
you mentioned, there's really nowhere to go. Every team is watching onto him, but now as this is happening, Illusion has managed to rotate all the way around Oath and is starting to throw whatever they can into that bowl to see if they can do something here.
Yeah, and this is, again, I hope the same thing doesn't happen. It does look like Oath is much more aware of that, though, and the way that they spread out and they're splitting those angles together is, especially with 4, is much better than the first time around. But again, they're staying active. They're not just sitting in that bowl, and you know what I mean. They're not just hoping that things will go their way. They're trying to impose that will on the rest of the lobby. It's just difficult.
And now as Oath has actually lost 2 players throughout various fighting from multiple players there. We see Tanaka is actually going to get a knock on the Reload. Snakers and Pat Caps aren't really in a position yet to get the reses. As Snakers is going to get taken down. Light Show with a really nice headshot here. And we see the utility from Tanaka coming out yet again, trying to steal some of these fights in this position as well. They have pushed out from the shack, but as this has happened, Dodge is also pushing in from the fields. And so Virtue It's a little bit vulnerable from this position. They've got to act quickly if they want to take this back. And Oath, meanwhile, is able to pop off at least one res, but Tanaka getting another knock onto Balefrost here.
This is it. This is wild. There's so much going on in these fights. So many teams converging on this one point. I mean, look at this. It's a smorgasbord of teams.
Ooh. And there's still so much utility left for all of these teams as we're seeing nades come back out. Tanaka taken out there by Lampalot. Only one player left for Virtue. It's Fatty Lil down to 17 HP. He's got no time to heal. His boosters are really the only thing that's offering him just a little bit of reprieve here, but he's going to take a chance at this first aid as Dodge is not fully committed to this push yet. Instead, Dodge actually a little bit more curious as to what's going on with Oath. Lampalot will find one, gets Balefrost down, but not before the damage is traded out from Pat Caps. Lamp goes down to 16 HP. Virtue is eliminated. So Dodge using this as the opportunity to take in a hard push now. Oath taken down as well. Illusion out to the west, and Delta for One Eye Open down to the south. And that is our top three teams that are left here in this match.
Oh man, I mean that's rough for Oath. Like we said, we hope we wouldn't see the same thing happen to them that it did in the first game. But again, that bowl with even more teams this time, it felt like Clover. I felt like there was like an extra two teams that was converging onto that position that Oath had. So it's just rough, man. That's a tough spot to hold, and really, I still think that the play for them to go there was, I mean, I think that's the only spot they had to go at the time, and it was a decent spot. Still, it's just hard to fight out of, man, especially when you have 4 teams coming around you.
Hard to fight indeed. Now, earlier we kind of missed this fight, but One Eye Open was fighting out with what was left of the Houston Hardships, and so Illusion wrapping back down around to try to clear out the south, and they are going to find Delta as Light Show picks up another kill, and now we're down to just 2 teams, 4v3. Illusion, they were in El Pozo. They've actually wrapped from their northern position all the way down to the south, but Dodge has a very nice spread here into the zone, and so they've kind of pushed Illusion down to the bottom of it. And in towards the blue. We're at the end of phase 7. The circle is going to shift back in Dodge's favor, and that means that Illusion's got no choice but to try and start taking some of Dodge down.
Dodge has 7 kills. I mean, they are absolutely fragging this round. But Illusion as well has been doing a lot of work here. The problem is that Dodge has so much control of the circle.
And I'm kind of liking this wrap that's coming in from Illusion. They're making sure that they aren't bunched up. They're trying to find the angles here as Light Show coming in from the high ground, but immediately is being shot at.
But yeah.
It looks like retaliation from Danny G and Finna, but still no knocks out just yet from Dodge. Of course, as I say that, Light Show goes down and the Molotov is out. Adam was looking for an opportunity to get it, but he actually gets himself with the Molotov, and that's going to pull him back out of the fight. This is the best time for Illusion to try and push right now, but smokes from Finna to try to lend a hand and as well obscure the support is great. Their view of this fight.
The support from Finn and the rest of Dodge is great, and that's the thing. I like the wrap as well that you had mentioned. The problem is that Dodge was pretty much ready for everything in that situation. The way that they had set up was really clean, and now it's just kind of the process of just.
Oh, Adam saw him here. Shots out from Icy Flex, but it's not going to be enough. Adam getting a headshot there takes Icy Flex down. There's only one player still up for Dodge, or Illusion, and that is Top Dog, but Adam is going to say, no, I am the top dog instead, as Dodge taking out the victory for our last Miramar match of the day.